What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. Big time win for them boys. Beating the Kings last night, 103-87 in a nasty victory. Nasty win. But listen, we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll go to 3-0. The Knicks are now currently 28-18 on the season with a game tonight against the Toronto Raptors. So this is the LV Lunchtime Takeout Show. Big shouts to everybody out there on TikTok. Hope everyone's doing well, man. Appreciate everybody coming through, rock with me over there. Big shouts to everybody here as well on YouTube, man. If you haven't done so on TikTok, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's truly, truly appreciate it if you do so. Hey, listen, man, great win, man. Great win. Listen, not every win's going to be the same. You know, you're going to have a nasty win sometimes, man. That's what happens, right? It happens like that sometimes. And you got to get wins like this in the NBA. You just have to. It's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be like, you know, a perfect win. Everyone looks great. Everyone looked like hot garbage last night. No one played well, except for Bridges. He came out, exploded. We already knew how bad of a he played the last game, and I thought he stepped up last game in the first quarter. He kind of fizzled out later on. He still ended with 18 points. I thought he had a solid game. I thought Cat had solid numbers, right? 17 and 11, right? But all in all, man, it was pretty much Brunson at the end, right? You know, it was pretty much nip and tuck game, but the Knicks won that fourth quarter, 31-15. I believe that was the score. I'll make sure I got that correct, man. 31-15, yes, in that fourth. And now a big part of that was Brunson. He had 11 big-time points to close out that fourth quarter. And that's pretty much what saved the game, man. Brunson being Brunson, man. So I thought that was awesome. But, you know, nasty win. No one played well. We had 21 turnovers. We just looked bad. OG looked like he had a three in the end, right? You know, I thought that was good, but he was terrible. We had 7 turnovers. Josh was Josh, jump passing. Like, it was just it was just one of those wins. But look, man, you know, it is what it is. I mean, the Kings didn't have everybody. We know Zach LaVine was out. Malik Monk didn't play. But listen, you got these are the dog days of the season, man. It's right before the All-Star break. A lot of teams are banged up. So you got to get wins like this. Last night was a win I felt that the Knicks should have, right? It would have really stunk if they would have lost to a really, really bad Sacramento team, especially being down one of their top dogs, right? I thought DeRozan got busy. No one could check him. I mean, he's the mid-range king for a reason, right? I thought he played extremely, extremely well. It's like no one can guard him. I mean, he's big, man. He's big. He's about 6'7". He's just shooting right over Josh. He's making it look super easy. And but I thought Mikal started to kind of, you know, lock up towards the end. I thought towards the end, DeRozan started to run out of gas, right? He started his couple of threes he shot was air ball. He shot an air ball 3 from the top of the key. So it looked like he started running out of gas. You know, DeRozan's an older player, man. So, you know, he doesn't have the same explosion like he used to have. He had a lot of lift coming out of USC. When he was with Toronto, he was a hell of a player, right? So, you know, he's an older player now. So, you know, he's got a mid-range game, and he's always going to have a job in this league. I think he's probably got a couple more years left, maybe about 3-4 more years, because he can still shoot it, man. So that's big. And I was pretty much thought that was their offense. They shot terrible from 3. They were 5 for 30 with the Kings. They're not a great shooting team. So we didn't shoot that well from 3. We were 13 for 32. Actually, no. I mean, that's okay. I mean, we're right below 50%. But I love the fact that we only shot 33s. Like, I don't want to shoot 40-something threes. Like, I just don't think that's what we are. And also, too, what I love is that we slowed down the pace, right? Which I thought was great. If that's who I think it is, no, class, okay? Class. Sorry. I had family members up in here that should be in class. So, you know, whatever. But I appreciate everybody coming through, rock with me today, man. It's truly, truly appreciated, man. So, I wish I had an interview. I'm gonna try to bring it up here. But of them discussing, they talked with Mitch at the end of the game, right? Of course, they talked to Brunson, but they talked to Mitch on the MSG telecast last night. And they asked Mitch, what's been the change of everything? And Mitch basically said, he kind of led on that after that meeting, after after that meeting that they had, they pretty much figured out each other's roles. Guys know their roles now, and now going forward, it should be easy. So what Josh said, they didn't have really a meeting. It was a meeting / talk, whatever. It was to hash out some things. And Mitch kind of let the cat out the bag by stating that guys kind of started identifying. They had a meeting to talk about their roles, what guys need to do, and then after that, now going forward, we know what we need to do. And so I think that's huge. And so that was big to hear. So let me get in here to the chat, man. Listen, NBIC, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV live during this LV lunchtime takeout show. Hope everybody's doing good, man, on this snowy New York City day. Jay Supreme, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV live. One Shot D, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV live. Uncle Dre live, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV live. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, man. But I appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV live on this LV lunchtime takeout show. Everybody out there on TikTok, man, appreciate everybody coming through, rocking with me, man. I truly appreciate it. It's something I do after every Knicks game, but I kind of missed the game last night. I mean, not to miss the game, but I missed my live. Super busy life calls, sometimes responsibility, so I caught up. But I wanted to kind of hop on and touch down on my people, man, because I missed you guys last night. So I hope everybody's doing good. Everybody out there on TikTok, this is something I do after every game. So once again, please try to come through and check it out. If you can't see me on TikTok, please come through and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I have that in my right there in my breakdown. Pretty much you guys can pretty much find the address right there for LV. But all right, guys. So listen, really quick, man. Let's kind of get into this whole, because so that's a lot of things brewing, man. Listen, the trade deadline is right around the corner. So how do you guys feel? Listen, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of smoke out there with Giannis. Then there's this stuff going on with Rich Paul. And how did Rich Paul even get involved in this? He's supposed to be doing a podcast with Max Kellerman. He's weaseling himself around. Hear Rich Paul's name thrown out there. Then out of nowhere, last couple of days, I'm seeing reports out there about Drew Holiday now. LV hasn't had a chance to touch on it with you guys, but I'm gonna touch on this stuff right now. This is a very, very dangerous spot for the Knicks to be in. And what I mean by that is you have to ask yourselves, right? Are you a gambling man? Do you gamble with things? Do you guys like to gamble? Anybody out there like to gamble? You like to do it? DraftKings or whatever, or anybody from where I'm from, uptown, play a little CeeLo. Anybody like gambling? Well, what I'm saying is, do you want to take risks? Because here's the reality. As much as we're super excited about Giannis, and we would love that, that's a major, major risk here, right? If you do this, you got to think, guys, you're going to be blowing up the team. Because I'm seeing stuff out there that's saying that, if you do this, you're going to have to send off McHale. I'm hearing OG's name. Then I'm hearing Deuce being thrown into the deal. You got to understand what this does, how this blows things up. If you do this, this is with the mindset that we are winning a championship now. Like right now is championship time. Like that's it. We're winning a championship right now. But now you got to deal with, how many more years does Giannis really have left? He's older than Cat. Cat's 30 years old. If we go out there and get Drew Holiday, okay, cool, we get Drew Holiday. He's about 35. McHale, I think, is like 28. These guys are young guys. So you'll be giving away, because the Knicks aren't a bad team. They're a good team. Now, if you want to say, okay, yeah, but they're not going to win a championship. Yeah, they probably won't, but you never know, right? There's a chance, and they're still young. You could possibly bring these guys back or maybe add pieces, whatever. But you got young guys. If you blow it all up on top of, I'm hearing Deuces being in a deal, man. I don't know how true it is, but I'm hearing his name circulating around. Then you give up a guy like Deuce, right, who's in his prime right now. He's about 25 years old. He's at a great contract. You basically have him for another year. And that's the win now with a guy that's got a bum calf and another guy that's got a bum calf because Drew Holiday's got calf issues, right? So once again, like this is a big risk. And this is why I said it's dangerous for the Knicks. Because guys, let's be honest. Every time we're hearing calf issues in the league, it always leads up to other things, right? Jason Tatum had the same issues here. Where's he at? Halliburton had the same issues. Where's he at? Dame Dollar out there, and out there with the Bucks. He had the same issue. Look what happened to him. And then, of course, let's go back to, the finals a few years back with KD. What happened to him? These calf issues are dangerous, man. Dangerous when you're willing to say, we're going to push all the chips in the front of the table. So go get Giannis and then ship off one of our young wings to go get an aging, solid role player that's making almost $35 million. I mean, guys, we got to ask these questions here. These are valid questions. Now, a lot of people are going to say, let's go get Giannis. Go get him. I don't care, LV. Get him. All right. Let's get him. How long is this going to last? I don't care. Let's just win a championship. All right, but there's no guarantee you're going to win a championship. There's no guarantee. And what if he comes here, knock on wood, and he blows his Achilles? Oh, I got one better. What if Drew Holiday blows that Achilles, man? Here with the Knicks. Remember, they got, if I'm correct, they got Drew Holiday on like a minutes restriction over here in Portland because of this calf injury. And remember, once again, these guys are older players. They're not like young guys. Tatum's a young guy. Halliburton's a young guy. These aren't young guys. These are older players that are dealing with some of these calf issues that you got to be mindful about here. So as a Knicks fan, do you blow? Because we're not a bad team, guys. We're not. Now, you can give it, take, and say, okay, we can win a championship. We can't. I don't know, but we're not a bad team. We're right there. Wait. I think we win tonight, right? If we win tonight against Toronto, what's the standings right now? What are we? Still fourth in the East? Right? We were number 2 in the East when before we went underneath that stretch. We're number 3 in the East right now, guys. We're number 3 in the East. So if we win tonight, we beat Toronto, we bump up a little lead on them, probably a game lead, but we're number 2 in the East. Number 3, excuse me. A game right outside the second seed from Boston. So we're not a bad team. So if you're willing to do that because you're saying, let's just risk everything. Or do you stay pat, you hold, and you say, let's make a move on the margins here. Let's go and get maybe a guy, of course, the big talks is Alvarado, right? Who I think is kind of like a need here. And I'm going to touch on that in a second. Or maybe the big man out there in the Pelicans. This is all the talks that's out there, right? The big man, Messi or whatever his name is, right? Or do you get a guy like I've been talking about, a guy like Sadiq Bey? Do you do something like that? Everything is with the Pelicans. Then, everybody in my chat here, big shouts to everybody in my chat. People have been talking about Najee Marshall. Everybody wants Najee Marshall, the local kid from Atlantic City here, right? So do you make a move like that? Does Dallas even want to deal with us after the whole Brunson thing? Do they even want to deal with the Knicks? Yeah, but that's a Mark Cuban thing, right? He's gone. That's a Mark Cuban thing. Remember, Mark Cuban's focused on Indiana, right? He's putting all his money into the Indiana Hoosiers, who just won a football championship for the college football championship. He's putting all his money into that, so he's focused on that right now. If anybody knows college football, you know what I'm saying? That's he's a big donor up there for those programs, NIL and stuff like that with college football. He's focused on that. He ain't thinking about the Knicks in Dallas, which is good. But would Dallas be willing to make that deal for Najee Marshall? Would they be willing to do that? Right? So that's the question here. That's the question. Because to me, man, you gotta be careful here. Then you gotta look at the money, right? Then you gotta look at the contracts. What matches up? Right? Because it's so easy to say, okay, get rid of Cat, just do that. Guys, Cat's leading the league in rebounding, man. He's the top rebounder in the league. He's averaging 11.5 boards a game, almost 12 rebounds a game. He was 17-11 again last night. Yeah, he's not a perfect player. We know he comes with his flaws, but I'm just saying, if you're going to give that up, and he stretches the floor, right? If you're going to give that up, you got to get something back in return, man. And here's the thing, and I don't know if a guy like Giannis is right, only because he doesn't spread the floor. And the biggest thing with Giannis is that he's dealing with this. What is it? Is this like his 4th or 5th calf issue? Like, what's going on? What's going on with calf issues, man, with him? Rondo, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live tonight. today. Sorry, Rondo. Listen, man. LV Lunchtime Takeout Show, man. I'm getting my rhythm. I apologize. But I appreciate everybody coming through rock with me. So, dealing with these calf issues, that's dangerous zone. That's danger zone for the Knicks, man. So he's the aging star that's strictly built on, his game is not built on like an outside shooter. He's strictly a power force, down the hill type of player. That's his game. That's his game. He's a power player. That's what he is. Going to the rack. Kind of similar to like a Derrick Rose, right? Like that's his game. Going to the rack. He doesn't shoot from the outside. He doesn't spread the floor. He doesn't do that. So you got to understand what you're changing in bringing a guy like Giannis here, and also to what you're blowing up. What you're blowing up to bring him here. So yes, it's a big gamble, man. It's a big gamble. When you could just say, we're still a good team. We're number 3 in the East. We're getting better. Guys are identifying their roles. Let's stay packed and just build around the margins. Or once again, I'm going to throw the question out there again to all my people out there on YouTube, and of course out there on TikTok. Appreciate everybody coming through rocking with me. Or do you just say, yo, I'm a gambling man. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. And go all the way in, man, for Giannis. Push all your chips to the front. Even when the guy's not healthy, it doesn't matter. So what? Let's just get Giannis. That's a gamble, man. That's a gamble. I'm not a gambling man. LV, I'm shook. I don't gamble, man. I don't do that. I don't play that. I don't like playing like that. I don't like playing like that. I just don't. Eric Green, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live, man. On this LV Lunchtime Takeout Show. Big shouts to everybody out there on TikTok. Appreciate everybody coming through rock with me over there as well. New York Black, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rock with LV Live. He says it's not Cat. Coach needs to work on getting him involved. Also, think his three-point attempts have changed. New York Black is stating that it's the coach that needs to tighten up and get Towns ready. Over there on TikTok. Appreciate you coming through rocking with me, man. Over here on YouTube, Eric Green says, what's good, LV? Giannis isn't healthy. I wouldn't do it. Look elsewhere. That's what Eric Green says. He says, look elsewhere. I'm leaning more towards that. That's what I'm leaning towards. Hey, the question I have also, too, I'm throwing this out there to you guys. Would this even be a conversation if Cat wasn't doing what he was doing? If Cat was playing better, or if him and the coach, or whatever is going on over there, this wouldn't even be a conversation, right? The Knicks would be okay. Because we weren't talking about this before the year started. We weren't. I said no to Giannis. Remember, I said it. Everybody out there on TikTok, big shouts to y'all. I said it. I said, yo, no to Giannis. No. I said it before the season started. I said, I don't want Giannis. No, don't touch him. Don't touch the team. We just made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Do not change anything. I said that. I stressed that. But with all this Cat nonsense, all this stuff going on behind the scenes, Cat's not happy with his role. Mike Brown's airing him out. He's just whatever friction is going on in that locker room. Now the Giannis talks comes up. Now remember, let's be clear. The Giannis conversation happened prior to the season, right? That was the reports. That was the rumors going on. And I said no then. I said, no. Let's keep everything. No. It doesn't work with Brunson. And it still doesn't work, to be honest with you. It still doesn't work because you got to think, if you're going to move Towns, you're going to have, what does Giannis play, the 5? Is he going to play the 5 over here? And if you put him out there with Mitch, forget about it. The court, you thought it shrunk before. It's going to even shrink even more. Brunson's not going to have no room to operate because nobody stretches the floor. Nobody. So he's going to have to play the 5 over here. Does he want to play the 5? Does Giannis want to do that over here with us? Like, that's just a real question. Everybody out there on TikTok, does Giannis want to play the 5 over here with the Knicks? Is that something he wants to do? Like, I'm just asking you guys. This is a very, very real question here. LV's throwing it out there to you guys on TikTok and on YouTube. Does Giannis want to play the 5 over here? Because he can't be out there with Mitch. There's no way. Brunson would have no room to operate. None. Jay Supreme says, Stay as it is and just build around the margins. Elevate at the end of the season. Jay, man, I'm with you, Jay. I'm with you, Jay. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, big shouts to everybody out there on TikTok. People over here on YouTube saying, yo, just stay pat, man. Stay pat. Don't touch nothing. Don't touch anything. Now, let's be clear. Let's be clear here. If Giannis was healthy, this is a different conversation now. This is a different conversation because now he's coming in ready to go, right? So you would have to move some things around to make sure you're able to kind of get him, pretty much he's the best player in the league, man. So you would have to move some things around to make sure he's happy wherever he's at to make things easier. So you got to ask yourself that, right? You got to ask yourself that. So, but that's a different conversation though, because he's not healthy. He's not healthy. So it doesn't even matter. If he's not healthy, what are we doing here? How do you even have the conversation? And then the other thing that's kind of tricky that's going on here, right? That's kind of weird, right? You got, what's going on with him and his agent? What's the situation? What is Rich Paul doing? There's reports out there now that, Giannis isn't happy with his agent. He wants to fire him. And now here goes Rich Paul, weaseling his way in here. Sounds like this has been in the works the whole time. Let's how does his name come out of nowhere? Just boom, here goes Rich Paul. Here he is. Where did he even come from? Like how does this even happen? This sounds like this has been in the works, man. Sounds like this has been in the works. It sounds like Giannis is trying to muscle his way out of there. He does not want to be there. He doesn't like where the team is. I mean, they stink. Let's be honest. They're not that good at all. Giannis is 32, right? He wants to try to, I'm sure he wants to retire in a couple of years. He wants to end off and get another ring. He's only got one. And the place he's always talked about he wants to be in New York. You remember guys in the summer, right? People said they saw Giannis out there downtown. The rumor is he bought a house out there in Long Island. I don't know how true it is. It's all alleged, right? These are all the things out there that's going on out there with Giannis, right? And he said he wants to be in New York. He said that's now he said he didn't say that, but all these reports that are out there, you don't know who's true, who's lying, you don't know what. But when there's smoke, there's fire. Right? When there's smoke, there's fire. So now you got to ask yourself, what do we do here? Now this is where Rich Paul comes in. But here's a question I have to ask you guys. And I'm going to throw it out there to you. Is the whole Knicks talk, is that a smokescreen? You think that's a smokescreen, guys? Big shouts to everybody over there on TikTok. Is this a smokescreen? Is this a smokescreen with the whole Giannis to New York? If Rich Paul is involved, is this a smokescreen? Everybody out there on YouTube, is it? Because we know who Rich Paul is connected to. We know who's out there moving things around, being the puppet master. We know who's out there. And he's in LA. Clutch Sports, right? We know who's out there. Is he making a power move? You know who I'm talking about. To bring Giannis to LA? Is he making phone calls to get Giannis to LA so he can get that last push? Because we know who he's doing, right? He's chasing the ghost. The ghost is number 23. He's chasing him to try to get basketball immortality. We know what he's doing. We know what he's doing. Is this all a smokescreen? Because now I see Rich Paul involved. I said, yo, what is he doing here? Where did he come from? Big shouts to my man out there, Delusional Knick fan, man. What's going on? Hope you're doing well, sir. Everybody, if you haven't done so, go check out my man, Delusional Knick fan, man. Does great work. Subscribe to him. Appreciate you coming through rocking with me, man, on this TikTok. Rich Paul's involved now. Yo, this sounds like LeBron's hands all over it, man. His fingerprints are everywhere on this. This whole New York stuff, it might be a smokescreen, man. That might be a smokescreen. I think he's trying to go to LA, man. I think LeBron is in the back. He probably called LeBron, beefing about his agent. He sent Rich, flew him out there, whatever's happening behind the scenes. And they're trying to probably make a power move to go to LA. What say you guys? What do you think? What do you think? You think that's happening? Everybody out there on TikTok, let me know. Do you think that's happening? On YouTube, do you think that's happening? Do you think that's what's going on? Because Rich Paul just came out of nowhere, man. Out of nowhere. Now, once again, this is all alleged. But it's funny how all this stuff is coming up. We're a week out from the trade deadline. We're a week out. It's next Thursday, guys. We're right out. It's right around the corner. But is the king moving things? Is he moving things on the chessboard? Is the king moving things on the chessboard to get Giannis to LA? So it could be the Holy Trinity out there. Him, Luka, Giannis. The Holy Trinity out there. To knock off the Thunder's reign. Is that what LeBron is doing? It just feels weird. I don't know. It just feels weird. Once again, it came out of nowhere. We've known Giannis has been unhappy since last summer. We know that, the reports were that the Knicks were talking to the Bucks about the deal and Cat, and we know all this stuff. Like, this is not right. Where the heck did Rich Paul come from? Right? So now this is like, wait a minute. Now we got to kind of pump the brakes here. And see exactly, how the Knicks are going to move with this going forward. It's just weird. Now, let me shift focus here. Now with the whole Alvarado piece, right? Now, Jose Alvarado, local kid from Brooklyn, right, with the Christ the King. Christ the King has pumped out a lot of pros, not just on the men's side, but on the women's side. Remember, Sue Bird went there. Shamiko Holtzclaw went there, right? Sue Bird went to UConn. Shamiko Holtzclaw went to Tennessee, right? Of course, the great Lamar Odom went there. Eric Barkley, Craig Claxton. You guys don't know, like these were dudes coming up. I played with a couple of those guys coming up in high school. Went to camp with them and stuff, right? So these guys were legit ball players. So Christ the King has always been known to pump out a lot of really good basketball players. Melo's son went there for a year too. He went to Christ the King. So with the Jose Alvarado piece, this is big. I think the Knicks want to make the move for him. I have no connections to that. I'm just being honest. I think the Knicks want to make a move for him. I just think it's really hard because I think they're really waiting for the Giannis thing. I think that they're really trying to stay pat because he's the big fish, man. He's the big fish. If anybody gets him on their team, and if he's healthy, that changes everything. That shifts the power of who they feel could be the best team in the league. Right? If Giannis was to come to New York, I don't know how it would fit, but it would shift the focus. And everything would have the Knicks winning the championship. They would do that because Giannis is a force. See, that's just what he is. But that's a healthy Giannis. Now, with the Jose Alvarado piece, the reason why I think that's a very, very important move for the Knicks, and I think they should do it, is because they have nobody for that second unit. I've been screaming this on my show. You guys know this. Big shouts to everybody out there on TikTok. If you haven't come to my show out there on YouTube, I've been screaming it. Deuce is not a point guard. Like, he's not a point guard. Like, he cannot run that second unit. Right? He cannot run that second unit. And so for me, I'm like, that's why things look good when Kolek was out there. But he's lost his spot because Mike Brown is short in the rotation because he's got to win games. He's got to win games to keep the owner happy and keep Leon off his neck, right? So he knows he's got to win games here. Let's be honest. He's got to win games. So he's short in the rotation. Only 8 guys now, right? So it's Deuce, Shamet, and of course Mitch. Maybe Yabusele. But there's no point guard on that second unit. None. So you need somebody to run the show. They have nobody. Deuce, come on, man. I love Deuce. But there's times he just comes down, he's just chucking. He's looking for his own shot. He does not know how to run the offense. I've been screaming this from the mountaintop. You guys know this. So for me, that's where that comes into play here, to where we got to kind of say, okay, you know what? We might have to make a move for Alvarado. We might have to make a move for him to run that show. And then it'll be great for Towns, too, because I think Towns also has taken a big hit of that, too. Remember, when Towns would be out there with the second unit last year, he had Campaign out there with him. Campaign used to look for Towns, right? So if you remember a couple of weeks ago, they asked Towns about last year's team. He said it's disrespectful to last year's team. The campaigns of the world. Campaign will look for Towns. Towns will get busy on that second unit because of campaign. We would look for him. We try to find Towns. That's not really what happened. And then when I saw Towns playing better this year, in moments, Tyler Kolek was out there finding him, right? So once again, he's not out there with a point guard. He's out there with Deuce chucking shots because he's trying to get a big payday in his contract. I mean, let's be honest here. That's what's going on. Deuce doesn't know what he's doing. He just runs off screens, bang, bang. If he don't see nothing, I'm pulling. It's just no disrespect to him. That's just the truth of what's happening, what we see. So you know, you got to kind of be honest and say, all right, what do we need? Not what looks great and what do they need right now? They need a point guard. They need a point guard for that second unit. Bad. If we're trying to get Towns back on track here. Nick Yak, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight, man. Excuse me, today. Keep on messing up. I apologize. During this LV lunchtime takeout show, man, I appreciate everybody coming through rocking with me, man. It's truly appreciated, man. Just giving a quick recap. I missed last night's show, man. Was busy, got caught up. So now I'm just trying to touch down on my people, man. I appreciate everybody coming through rocking with me. Also, too, man, big shouts. Got to talk about it, man. LV hit 20K on YouTube, man. That's all because of y'all. I don't really like talking about accomplishments, man, because I do this for y'all. But I saw the numbers. I said, yo, what? I said, yo, this is big, man. So I hit 20K, man. This is all possible for y'all, man. All because of y'all. That's why I do this. I do this for y'all. Have fun with this. Talk about all the sports stuff, man, from the Giants stuff to everything. So, you know, I appreciate you guys, man. That's why I do this, man. So yeah, but so that's the thing, man. So they need a backup point guard. They knew badly. Nick Yak says McBride's shooting 42% from threes. What's he shooting if not chucking? No. Nick Yak. Okay, yes. He's knocking down a three. I don't care. But Nick Yak, for that second unit, we need somebody to run the offense, man. That's what I'm saying. So let Deuce shoot his 42%, Nick Yak. Cool. But we need somebody to orchestrate it because we have another guy out there, right? That's an all-NBA guy that's been shooting 40-something% for his whole career from three. not just one year. Deuce is now. Cat's been doing this his whole career. 50, 40, 90 is his numbers. Book it. Check the boxes. That's what he does every year. So I think I want him to kind of get busy because we're going to need him in the playoffs. Not saying Deuce is not important. He is. But he's not the all-star. He's not the all-NBA guy. So I want a guy to come in here to get Cat right. Let Deuce play off of that and take it from there. That's why you do that, Nick Yak. Take the ball out of Deuce's hands because we don't need him to orchestrate. You know what we need him to do? Knock down shots when he's wide open. That is it. That is it. Eric Green says, Deuce is a two-guard period. What will Alvarado cost? Which players? Eric Green, that's well said, sir. Great breakdown. I think what they're talking, of course, with the Yabusele, right? You know, that's an equal contract. And I think also with Dadier, because I think they're also trying to get the big man too, the kid Messi, I think that's his name. He's young too. He's only 21, which is good. And that might be, the Messi piece might be a replacement for Mitch, considering, you know, they don't know if they're going to sign him back, whatever the dynamic is with Mitch's contract or whatever they do. So I think that's kind of like a backup plan. Because everyone knows that if the Knicks don't extend you by now, most likely they're not going to extend you. That's just how Leon's worked. So this is not, you know, everyone knows this, you know, in the Knicks universe, right? That's kind of like the situation. So yeah, so I think that's what it's going to be. So I think it's going to be an even split, Eric Green, to where the contract's going to work out. Nick Yak says, Cat is 1.2 assists to every turnover. McBride is 3-1. Nick Yak, I understand all that. But right now, Nick Yak, I'm not getting a return on investment with Towns. I'm just not. I'm not. And we're paying too much money to him for us not to get a return on investment, ROI, right? So I want to bring something in here to where I make sure I get my ROI and I can get my all-NBA guy right because we're going to need him in the playoffs. He's proven it. I love Deuce. I do. But Deuce hasn't done this for 10 straight seasons. Cat has. So, you know, I kind of want a guy that can really help him get it right. Deuce is still going to get his. Let's not be, you know, I'm not saying Deuce is not going to shoot no more, but I want to get Towns going, man. I want to get him going. We're going to need him. We got to figure this out. That's why you do that. and also to orchestrate the offense, not just through Towns, but through everybody else. It's like it goes through a stalemate because there's nobody out there running that offense. And once again, Deuce is not a point guard, man. He's just not. He's struggled his whole time here trying to do that. He's better off guard. That's just what he is. He's a combo guard. That's what he is. And he's great at it. He's gotten better throughout the year. So, Nick Yak says Alvarado 6 feet. Man, I think he's smaller than that. I think he's about 5'11", 5'10". He's small. Can't shoot threes or play defense. He isn't replacing McBride. He can run the offense, Nick Yak. That's all you need him to do, man. That's all you need him to do. Nick Yak, here's the thing. Kolek is the same way, man. Kolek's a little bit bigger, about 6'2". But he runs the offense. He runs the offense. That's what you need for a guy like that, man. You need a guy to run the offense. That is it. He's only there to run the offense. That is it. Nothing else. To where you could take that responsibility off of Deuce's plate and let Deuce focus on coming off of screens, getting into the corners, and knocking down shots. That is all we want him to do. We don't want him coming down there trying to facilitate. That's not what he does. That's just not what he does. Eric Green says, what could LA possibly get in return if we have to? It would have to include another team. Yeah, man. Listen, Eric Green, I don't know. I mean, that's for the Lakers to figure out, whatever comes with that. Yeah, I don't know. But I just feel like Eric Green, I just wouldn't be surprised if LeBron's fingerprints are all on this, all over this. To try to get LA in the deal, to get Giannis, and then they work out some moves for LA to get some pieces and get Giannis over here, whatever. But it doesn't involve the Knicks at all. So I think the Knicks are a smokescreen to take away. This is all just a legend. I'm just throwing things out there to see what you guys think, to take away what the Lakers are doing behind the scenes, because LeBron's trying to get another ring, and he's trying to get a couple more rings. He's trying to reach immortality, man. He's trying to get in that room with MJ. That's the goal here. And so, once again, I don't know where Rich Paul came from, Eric Green, but he slithered his way in here. And then now Giannis wants to fire his agent. The rumors out there. I don't know, man. I don't know. Big shouts to everybody out there on TikTok, man. Appreciate everybody coming through rocking with me, man. It's truly, truly appreciated. This is what LV Live does after every game. LV Lunchtime Takeout Show, man. That's what I'm doing here with my crew, man. So I appreciate everybody coming through rocking with me, man. It's truly, truly appreciated. Okay, see some guy in here, Flush. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rock with LV Live on TikTok, man. Giving you guys a shout out there on TikTok. Appreciate everybody coming through rock with me, man. Yo, get some people coming through here on TikTok, man. Appreciate everybody. Truly do. All right. Here, let me make sure this is cool here. All right. Okay, so Nick Yak says, no way Cat's problem is McBride. Cat is struggling to start games with McBride on the bench. No, man. Nick Yak, you're not understanding. I'm not saying McBride is the problem. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we got to get Cat going. So what helps Cat is having a point guard there on that second unit that could feed him the ball and get him in certain positions. Since coming here, and this whole offense has been a struggle for Cat. Everyone knows that. This is not a mystery here. He's been struggling. So why don't you get somebody in here that can run the offense and help him to where he can get the ball and do what he does? You guys want to destroy Cat. He's leading the league in rebounding. Like, you know what I mean? He's number one in double doubles. I think it's his 30th double last night. He's got averaging about 11.5 boards a game, 20.5 points. I mean, the numbers are fabulous what he's doing. He's just not doing what he did last year. But the offense is different. It's been a struggle for him, man. It has been, but he's been serviceable. I thought he was big last night in the beginning of that fourth quarter. He came up with a couple of big-time threes. He's destroying the glass, right? So I thought he kind of held down the fort until Brunson got back in there. Once again, I stressed this on my live. Big shouts to everybody on TikTok. If anybody knows, this is what I do, right? I've said I don't really care about nothing. I just want to get wins. I don't care. Just contribute to winning. How do you contribute? Cat contributed last night to winning. So did Mikal. He contributed last night to winning. Josh was playing like garbage. He was on the bench at the end of the game. So what? It doesn't matter. Mitch came in to play defensively to get some stops. Brunson closed the show. That is it. It doesn't matter. Get a win, man. We won by 16 last night. Like that, I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect what happened last night. Perfect. And so my thing is, you're going to have nasty games. It happens in a season, 82 games, especially in the middle of January when it's snowing outside. No one wants to be outside, but the Knicks are able to kind of get it together and pull out a nasty win against a scrappy and feisty Sacramento Kings team that just wouldn't go away. I thought Cat contributed, Mikal contributed, everybody contributed. Certain guys didn't play well, like OG and Josh. Deuce didn't shoot the ball well, but so what, man? It happens. Able to get a win, man. That's it. Just get wins, man. Stack wins. Stack wins. That's all I care about. Stack wins. Get victories. That's it. That's all I care about. Okay. Eric Green says Alvarado's a fighter, man. We need that on our team. A little Dante. Great point, man. Great point. Nick Yak says Alvarado's getting some of whose minutes? Hart, Bridges, McBride, or Brunson? I don't see it. Mike is playing his defensive players more and more. He would come in probably for Brunson, Nick Yak, just to stabilize the unit for a little bit. Because remember, after Yabusele leaves, we have a spot there. So he'd probably go 9 deep. 9 deep, because that's what he was going before. But he'll probably go 9 deep. Now, Nick Yak, let's be real. If he doesn't play well, he won't. He'll be sitting on the bench just like everybody else. I mean, it doesn't matter. Anybody could get it. Okay, if you're not playing well that night, you're on the bench. You're on the pond. You see Clarkson's not playing. So it doesn't matter, man. We love Josh, right? Josh didn't play at the end of the fourth because he was making stupid turnovers. He didn't play. It happens. Just like Mikal didn't play the other night. Right? So once again, it doesn't matter, man. Let's get wins. Let's get wins. That is it. Nick Yak, 35% for threes. Cat shouldn't be taking 30-footers until he's over 37. Yeah, Nick Yak, I mean, I hear you, man, but that's kind of hard to tell a guy, right? For 10 years of his career, he's been shooting over 40% from three. It's not like he did this for 1 year. He's got 10 years plus of shooting over 40% from three, or damn near close to. So how do you tell a guy like that, stop shooting? There's no way he's going to do that. That's his superpower. Because he's 7 feet and he can step out and he can knock it down like that. I mean, it's come on, man. You got to identify. I know he has issues, man. I'm not saying he's perfect, but come on, you can't dismiss him like he's some bum because he's not. Big shouts to everybody out there on TikTok, man. Appreciate everybody coming through, rock with me, man. So yeah, guys. So that's kind of like what's going on here, man. I mean, that's the conversations. Those are the talks. So we got to see exactly what happens and how that comes together. But it's weird. It's going to be a lot of moving parts. Man. So we got to see exactly how this works out because the trade deadline's right around the corner. So we got to see. We got to see exactly what goes on. This Grover, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live, man. Truly appreciate you. This Grover. This Rover says, here we go. We don't need Alvarado on this team. We need somebody over 6'7". Who you got? Okay. Who you got in mind, this Rover? This Rover doesn't want Alvarado. He wants someone at 6'7". This Rover, who do we make a deal to go get, sir? What do we do? This Grover wants Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey. That's who I've been screaming for the longest, man. Sadiq Bey. I would love that, man. I would love that move. I like Sadiq Bey, man. I do. You need some scoring punch coming off that bench. He would provide that. He would. And he's got good size. So he's about 6'8". Good size. Nova guy, right? Keep that whole Nova connection going. Right? So I think that'll be big, man. I think that'll be big. This girl says, I know people have been yapping about Joe Jeremy. Right, but he played himself out of rotation on the Spurs. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, yeah, but he doesn't score neither, though. This Grover. That's the kid that walks around looking like Dennis Rodman, right? I know exactly what you're talking about. It's going to be very interesting, man. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly what the Knicks do, right? Because I think that's where we're at, man. That's where we're at. All right, people, listen, let me get up out of here. Listen, I appreciate everybody coming through, rocking me doing this LV Lunchtime Takeout show. Listen, I will be going live today after the Toronto Raptors game, so please come through and check it out, all right? Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people, right? Also, too, people out there on TikTok, please hit that heart emoji. Please like what I'm doing. And, yeah, if you haven't done so, please come through and subscribe also, too, on YouTube as well. This is what I do after every Knicks game, so please come through and check it out. All right, my link is in the description there. So please come through and check that out. All right, listen, appreciate everybody coming through, rocking with me. Hang this up here. I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out of here, people. See you guys tonight. Peace.